watching the third episode of the Pity Farm Pucky Pest podcast, hosted by Chip and Ripple. Here we go.
De dagen gaan zo snel. Er gaat zoveel aan mij voorbij. Oh, maar één ding weet ik wel. Ik kan niet terug in de tijd, no. I don't know which way to go. Blijf zoeken naar de juiste weg. This time I will run the show, no, I won't wait again. Yeah, the world is mine. This time I know things will go my way. Yeah, this is my time, and I will make it, no matter what they say. And the ups and downs, solid overleven. What doesn't kill you makes you strong. Yeah, the world is mine. Niemand houdt me tegen. I'm gonna live the dream. I'll always keep singing my song.
Okay, so, wow, I'm still thinking about, that whole Kyle Liefeld deep dive.
Yeah.
And that ARG, Pity Farm Pookie Pest. It's really wild how this, NBA 2K project manager is like, supposedly tied into Britney Spears.
Oh, for sure.
At least according to the ARG storyline.
Yeah.
But speaking of internet oddities,
Yeah.
we're going even deeper into the ARG rabbit hole today.
Oh, okay.
But with a figure you might not have heard of, James Holzier.
James Holzier. Okay. Fill me in.
Yeah. So,
How does this connect to?
so according to the Pity Farm Pookie Pest podcast,
Okay.
episode 2 to be exact,
Okay.
Holzier is supposedly the male counterpart
Okay.
to Scarlett Johansson within the game's narrative.
Interesting.
But before we get to that, let's rewind a bit.
Okay. So tell me about James Holzier then.
Yeah, so he's an actor born in 1981
Okay.
with a few films to his name. Dreams in the Attic, Willie the Hitman, even a guest appearance on Cousin Skeeter back in 2001.
Gotcha.
So seemingly normal Hollywood hopeful.
Yeah,
That's
it
right.
seems that way. So where does the internet infamy come in?
Well, that's where it gets interesting.
Yeah.
Around 2012, the internet unearthed this, let's call it self-created rise to stardom that Holzier had crafted online.
Oh, okay. The allure of online fame. So what did he do?
Think suspiciously staged paparazzi photos.
Uh-huh.
A YouTube fan gushing about their mad crush on him.
Oh, wow.
Even a Squidoo page dedicated to his rising stardom.
Oh, wow. Squidoo.
Remember Squidoo?
That takes me back.
Damn.
Pre-Instagram influencer.
We're absolutely vintage internet.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So this self-made fame campaign, I'm guessing it didn't go unnoticed.
Not at all. In 2012, a Redditor, bless their internet sleuthing heart, decided to dig a little deeper. They found Holzier's IMDb page where he was listed as being considered for roles alongside A-listers. Ryan Gosling, Leonardo DiCaprio. He even claimed to be in the running for John Blake in The Dark Knight Rises.
That's pretty specific.
Yeah.
So was this accurate? Was he actually considered for these roles?
Not quite.
Oh.
Turns out back then, anyone could edit IMDb.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So it seems like James might have taken some creative liberties with his filmography.
Okay, so we've got questionable photos, a dedicated fan video, and a potentially embellished IMDb page. So I could see how that might raise some eyebrows. But is that all?
Oh, no. Remember that Squidoo page? It proclaimed James as one of the next big things, one of the most internationally loved stars of the world.
Whoa. Okay, so what was the reaction online?
Well, it was mixed.
Okay.
Some people found the whole thing hilarious, harmless, if slightly delusional, an attempt at self-promotion.
All right.
Others felt deceived, who is this guy?
Yeah.
What is he doing?
Right.
Reddit, of course, had a field day.
I bet. What were some of the comments?
Well, one Redditor called it the worst troll ever. Well, another wondered if it was an inside joke we're obviously not in on.
Okay, yeah.
Somebody even joked about Holzier putting his extensive IMDb film history, accolades, and biography on his job application at Hardee's.
Okay.
Classic internet humor.
Yeah. Classic. Okay, so we have this seemingly average actor who, for reasons unknown, created this elaborate facade of fame and stardom online. But how does this tie back to the Pity Farm Pookie Pest, ARG, and Scarlett Johansson? That's where I'm lost.
Okay, so remember how I mentioned that the podcast claims Holzier is the male counterpart to Scarlett Johansson in the ARG?
Yes, that's the part I'm struggling to grasp.
Okay, so to understand this connection, we need to talk about something pretty disturbing.
Okay.
Deepfakes. You familiar with those?
Vaguely. Aren't those the, AI-generated videos that can make, like, anyone appear to say or do anything?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, they've been used to target female celebrities, including Scarlett Johansson, with fabricated, often explicit content.
Oh, that's awful. Yeah, I remember reading about that. I think I saw it in the Washington Post, actually.
Yeah.
They talked about a group called the Matthew Community.
Yeah, so that's them.
Okay.
The podcast describes them as a group of scary bearded men.
Right.
And they've been particularly focused on Scarlett Johansson,
Oh, wow.
who even spoke out about the situation,
Okay.
calling it a lost cause to fight against this type of online manipulation.
Yeah, that's heartbreaking. It really highlights, like, that dark side of technology and how it's, like, so hard to control your own image online.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And this is where the podcast draws the connection to Holzier.
Okay.
They suggest that he, having experienced the negative side of online attention himself, might actually be a source of support
Okay.
for Johansson within the ARG's narrative.
Oh, that's an interesting parallel. Two individuals both grappling with, like, distorted online identities.
Right.
One through self-promotion and the other through malicious manipulation.
Right. Like two sides of the same coin.
Yeah, it seems almost symbolic.
Both dealing with the consequences
Right.
of fabricated online reality. So
Yeah. What role do they play in this ARG? Are they victims, heroes, something else? I don't know.
right. And that's what we're going to explore next.
Well, color me intrigued. This is shaping up to be quite the deep dive.
You said it. So buckle up, listener, because things are about to get even more interesting.
So we've got James Holzier, who, like, seemingly made his online fame, and then Scarlett Johansson, whose image has been used in those deepfakes.
Yeah.
It's fascinating how the Pity Farm Pookie Pest ARG connects those two.
It really makes you think, like, it's like the ARG is using both of their experiences to kind of explore the spectrum of online identity manipulation.
Yeah.
Like, on one hand, you have Holzier crafting this, illusion of fame,
Yeah.
maybe for career advancement, maybe for kicks, who knows? We don't really know his motive, but
Yeah, and then on the other end, there's Johansson, whose image and likeness are being used without her consent, and, like, she's a tool for this Matthew community and their agenda.
right.
Two completely different situations, yet both are rooted in this, like, manipulation of reality.
Right.
This blurring of truth and fiction.
It's like the ARG is asking, what does it even mean to be real online anymore?
Exactly. And what happens when that line between reality and fabrication gets so blurry that it's almost impossible to tell the difference?
It's a little terrifying when you think about it.
Yeah.
Like anyone could be out there, creating a fake persona, or anyone could be the victim of deepfakes, and we might not even realize it.
Right. It raises such a big question about trust and authenticity, in the digital age. Like, how do we know what to believe, who to believe, when the same tools that are connecting us can also be used to deceive us?
It's enough to make you want to just ditch the internet altogether.
I hear you, but I think that's what makes this ARG so compelling. It's forcing us to confront these conversations head on. Like, they're using these outlandish narratives to make us really think critically about our relationship with the online world.
And that's what I think makes this deep dive so fascinating.
Yeah.
We're not just talking about some guy who tried to, fake his way to fame or whatever.
Right.
We're talking about a much bigger issue about identity and truth and the power of technology to shape how we see reality.
Exactly. And to bring it back to Holzier and Johansson, like, the podcast seems to suggest that Holzier, despite his own, like, self-inflicted internet drama, could be a source of support for Johansson within this ARG.
Right, like he kind of understands what it's like to have your online identity be twisted and turned into something you don't recognize.
And maybe through that shared experience, he can offer her some understanding and empathy that maybe others wouldn't be able to.
But it's all speculation at this point, right?
Right.
We don't actually know how Holzier and Johansson will interact within the ARG, or if they will at all.
Sure, yeah, this ARG is still unfolding.
Right. I'm sure there are going to be more surprises and twists along the way.
Absolutely, it's like a giant puzzle
Yeah.
that we're all trying to solve together piece by piece.
Yeah, and in the process, we have to confront some pretty big questions about ourselves and the digital world that we're in.
So to recap, we've got James Holzier, this actor who fabricated his online fame, and Scarlett Johansson, who's been targeted by those deepfakes, and they're brought together in this bizarre and fascinating ARG.
And through their experiences, the ARG seems to be exploring the blurring of truth and fiction and the power of technology.
Yeah, it's a lot to unpack.
It is.
But where do we go from here? What does this all mean?
That is the question, and the question will likely continue to evolve as the ARG unfolds and we go deeper into its mysteries.
I, for one, can't wait to see what other rabbit holes this ARG takes us down.
Me too.
But for now, I think that's a lot for the listener to think about.
We've covered a lot of ground from the early days of internet fame to deepfakes.
And we've only just scratched the surface of the ARG, which brings us to a final thought for the listener.
Okay.
We've seen how technology can be used to manipulate and distort online, creating versions of ourselves that may not reflect who we actually are.
Right.
But what about the role of AI in all of this?
AI? You mean like those AI-generated images and videos that are becoming so realistic?
Exactly. As AI technology gets more advanced, it's becoming more and more difficult to know what's real and what's fake.
Like, what happens when we can't even trust our own eyes and ears anymore?
That's the question we need to be asking.
Yeah.
And it's a question that has implications far beyond online entertainment.
Right.
It affects our understanding of truth and evidence and even identity.
That's deep, even for a deep dive.
I know, right?
But I think you've hit on something.
Yeah.
This isn't just about a silly internet game anymore. It's about the future and how we interact with technology and how technology is shaping our reality.
Exactly. And the Pity Farm Pookie Pest ARG is making us confront these questions.
So, listener, as you continue to explore the depths of this ARG and the internet, we encourage you to think critically about the information you see and the role of technology in shaping your reality.
Because in the digital age, that line between truth and fiction is just getting blurrier and blurrier.
Well said. I think we've reached the end of our deep dive for today.
Until next time, keep exploring and keep diving deep.
It's mind-blowing to me that an ARG that started as just entertainment could be pushing us to have these big conversations about tech and truth and identity. It's almost like the ARG is a form of AI itself.
I like that.
Constantly evolving, adapting.
It does, right? Oh, as we go deeper into these mysteries,
right,
it makes us question our own assumptions about, reality in the digital world.
It's exhilarating, but also kind of unsettling,
Absolutely.
It's like we're on the edge of something huge, something that could just totally change how we see the world.
For sure. The line between, physical and digital is getting blurrier and blurrier.
Yeah.
We don't even know the implications of that shift.
And the Pity Farm Pookie Pest ARG, I think, is at the heart of that shift.
For sure.
Challenging us to, reconsider what we believe and who we trust, what it means to be human in a world where technology can so easily just mess with reality.
It's like the ARG is holding up a mirror to our digital culture.
Yeah.
And it's forcing us to confront our complicity in this blurring of what's real and what's fake.
Right.
We crave connection, we crave entertainment, and sometimes we suspend our disbelief to get those things.
Right.
And the ARG kind of uses that desire to believe in something bigger than ourselves.
It shows us how fragile our own perceptions are.
Absolutely.
When the power of tech to, shape our understanding of the world, that's a scary thought.
It is.
But also powerful.
It is a powerful thought.
Yeah. So where do we go from here? What's next?
That's the million-dollar question.
Yeah.
But I think that's the beauty of this ARG.
Yeah.
Who knows what's next?
It's so unpredictable.
It is unpredictable. It's constantly evolving.
Right.
It's full of twists and turns.
And it invites us to be a part of it. You know? To try to figure it out and put the clues together, it's like a collaborative experience.
I agree.
And as we go deeper, who knows what we'll find.
Absolutely. New challenges, new questions.
So, listener, as we wrap up this deep dive into, James Holzier and Scarlett Johansson and Pity Farm Pookie Pest,
the ARG,
we want you to keep asking questions.
Yeah.
And never stop exploring.
Because in this world where anything goes online, it's our curiosity and our ability to think critically that will help us understand the world around us better.
So well said.